What's up, my fellow human beings? Welcome back to another tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to do a smock design. As you can see in my hand, I'll be taking you guys through the process of how to draw the grid, how to do the lines, and how to do the fixing step by step. So make sure you give the video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're yet to subscribe to the channel. Smock design can be used in senator or a female outfit, but I'll be using this specific one to do some pocket designs and some other things like a chest design, shoulder design. I'll be doing that on several videos, and there are several kind of smock. As you can see on the screen, there's one that look like this, but the one I'm taking you guys is this particular one in my hand, and there's another smock design that look, they're different one like the one on the screen right now. I will still be taking you guys through the process of doing this also, but in this video I'll be taking you guys through the process of doing this. You can see what the back look like, can see what I have on the back side. So let's get into the tutorial. So here is my fabric. As you can see, this is the right side of the fabric. Make sure you're working with the right and the wrong side of the fabric, and this is the wrong side of the fabric. Just in case, before we start, make sure you smash the like button. Why have you not smashed the like button? So right now, the first thing we are going to do is to draw our straight line in order to have a space in which we'll be working with. So I'm going to draw a line on the side, on both of the edges of the fabric, in order to have a straight line to work with. So let me focus the camera very well. You can see that. So I'm going to draw another line on this side. Make sure you straighten, like your fabric is straight very well. So you're having all of the lines on both sides. You can see that. I'm going to draw a line at this side. The design I'll be doing with this smock design, you guys are going to be amazed, and I'm going to be uploading a video on how to do that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. There are so many videos coming up. So at this side also, I'm going to make my straight lines here. You can see, I'm going to make a straight line right here. You guys can see that. So now I want you to pay attention here. Now, depending on how wide you want the smock design to be, how wide you want your design to be, that's what will determine the space you'll be leaving on your fabric. So here I'll be using half of an inch for the space of the, for the wideness of this, of the grid that I will be drawing. I hope you understand that. For the wideness of the grid, depending, if you want it to be up to 1 inch, you can go for 1 inch. So here I'm going to mark, I'm going to zoom in the camera. I'm not sure you're seeing this very well. So I'm going to mark half of an inch on all of the side, all the way down. You can see that just here, half of an inch all the way down. You can see I'm going to mark half of an inch like that. I'm also going to mark it at the down part, so I'm just going to make a straight line. I'm going to mark it here also because the line has to like intersect one another. You can see that. And I'm going to also draw the same line on this side. So let me do just a few and show you guys what that is supposed to look like. Let me draw all of the, okay, you can see on the down part also I did the same half of an inch, so I can connect the half of an inch from the up to the down part. You can see that. So I'm going to do it all the way to the last hem of the fabric. You can see that I'm going to do it all the way down to the last hem of the fabric. So depending on what you want, if you want it to be wider up to 1 inch, you can work with 1 inch. But here, I want it to be small. The smaller it is, the beautiful design come out. That's why I decided to work with like half of an inch. That is okay for me, and that is fine. So you can see that the smaller the design, the beautiful it is. So I usually work with half of an inch. If you're doing for a female outfit, you should be working with like 1 inch. They like it to be puffy and obvious. You can see that. So I'm going to run another line. Make sure your hand is straight. This is very important. So I'm going to do all of the line all the way down. Then I'm going to draw the intersect line also, which is going to cross the first line. So let me do that and show you the final result. So this is what we're going to be having. You can see after drawing all of the line, this might take your time. Just take your time and just do it. The next thing we're going to do is to draw the second line, which is going to intersect. You can see that just at this side. Start drawing your line. You can see that. And I'm going to draw it all the way down, so we can start the smoking with thread. You can see what that is looking like. See that? So this is what I'm going to be having. So I'm just going to draw all of the lines so you can see the final result. You can see here I'm working with 1/2 inch depending on which one you want, and make sure you're working with the right side of the make sure you're working with the wrong side of the fabric. Sorry, I'm making a mistake, I don't know. So this is what the final result is going to look like. This is the grid drawing. This is how to draw the grid. And I told you guys, don't forget, depending on the measurement you want. So now I want you to pay attention at this place. Very, very important. We are going to do the crossing of the grid, so that you can know where your thread is, where your needle and thread is going to follow. So let me focus the camera very well. Let me zoom in. Okay. So now I want you to pay attention here. We are going to draw the first line on the first grid right here. You see that? And on the second one, you can just follow me step by step. You're going to leave a space between that, and you're going to draw another one. You can see that. You're going to leave one space on each side. You can see that. Leave a space, draw your cross. You can see that, just cross the line. You can see that part. And also here, I'm going to do the same thing. Leave a space and simply cross the line. You can see that's going to be in between. You can see that. Also here. Also here, you can see that. And you're going to do this all the way down, all the way to the down part. You can see that. You can see what I'm doing. The space between one grid that you draw, you're going to draw the second space at the side. Just follow this, exactly what I'm doing on the screen. I don't know how to explain all of this grid stuff. So you see the place in which I cross, in which I make a cross, you're going to leave that center space. And you're going to start the second grid right here. You're going to start your second crossing at this place. You can see, just draw it right here. You can see that. You can see that. You can see that. So you can see that I leave a space, I leave a line in between before I jump to the second one. And I'm going to do exactly what I did in the front on the second one also. So I'm going to come to this side and do the crossing. You can see that. Cross it, cross it, cross it. So you're going to do this all the way, step by step, till you fool the entire grid on the fabric. You're going to leave that space also. You're going to start the second line. You're going to leave the space and start the third line, fourth line, fifth line, all the way to the last parts. So after this is what we are going to be having. You can see what I did all the way throughout all of the fabric. I leave a space in between. You can see here, I draw my grid and I leave a space, and I do the second one, I leave a space, and I do the third one, I leave a space all the way down. So this is how to draw a smock grid, depending on the smock design that you're doing. But based on the one we are doing here, this is how to do that. So the next thing now is to thread a needle. So right here in my hand, you can see that I already thread a needle. And I want you to pay attention at this place. It is very, 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 very important to click the like button and to pay attention. All right, so let's get straight into work. This is where the work starts. So right here, the first thing right here, the first tip, that place, you're going to simply pass a thread and you're going to lock that thread. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. You're going to lock that thread. You can see that. So after you can see, just lock it. After locking that side, the same thing you do on this first side is exactly the same thing you're going to repeat on all of the grid. So you're going to take the second grid, which is on the side. You can see here, you're going to take the second grid and you're going to just at that side. You're not going to like draw that side closer, just leave that side open. Can you see this clearly? Like you're going to use that side to drag in this side and do a locking. You can see here, and when you look at the front side, you can see what I'm having. My grid is almost setting. You can see that. So you're going to do the same thing on the second line also. You can see what I'm doing. I've been recording this not knowing that I was not focusing on the camera, like my hand is not on the camera. So pay attention. Let me show you the aspect very, 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 very well. Like this side is very, very clear. So here, pay attention to what I'm doing here. I'm going to hold the first grid. Pay attention here. This first grid right here, I'm going to pin it. You can see. But I'm just going to release the thread. Look at me here. You can see I'm releasing the thread. And I'm going to lock that first side. You can see. So that it's not going to be dragging to the second grid. You can see what I'm doing. I'm going to lock that first side. You can see that. And I'm going to I'm going to run the second thread on this second grid line. You can see that place, and I'm going to drag it together with the first line that I make. You can see what I'm doing. You can see that. Then I'm going to simply lock that both grids together. So I believe this side cam is more. I've been doing it and I wasn't showing the camera like it's crazy. I was so focused. Okay, so right here, I'm just going to pass just going to lock it. You can see that. So when you look at the front, you can see what I'm having. You see that? So you're going to do this all the way throughout the whole fabric itself. You can see what I have. So just continue doing it step by step all the way down. You're going to do the second one step by step all the way down. You can see that. It's not easy. You might find it difficult during the first grid when you're doing it, but as you go, you figure out how to like make it easier, and you can just continue doing it step by step. You can see what I'm having. I'm going to start my first grid here, and I'm going to lock both grid together. Your focus is to lock both grid together without locking it to the first grid that you locked. That's the main purpose. So this is what I'll be having after doing all the way down. You see that? You see what I have here? This is what I'll be having. It's not as difficult as you think. So I'll be doing the second line also. You can see what I'm having. You can see what it looks. That's the first grid. So I'll be doing the second grid also. You can see what I have at the back. So I'm going to focus on the second grid also. Then after that, this is what that is going to look like. You can see here. You can see what the back is going to look like. You see what I have. So I've did like 3 grids on this one. So I'm still going to do like all the way full. But so far this is what you're going to be having. You can use this design for pocket, for chest design, for anything, and I'll be showing you how to do that on another video. But so far this is how to do a smock design. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel. See you on the